best investors are the ones that know how to forget about their investments because they tend to be less emotional. But it doesn't mean that you don't study. It doesn't mean that it's an excuse also for you to become not knowledgeable in where you put your asset class into. But when you know that you're putting your money into something that's sound, into something that you know has great long-term prospects, it not really doing well for a few months, for a couple of years, but it having the ability to explode later on in the future because history, statistics, and fundamentals beckon it, then it should be okay. Hey guys, so here's what's very interesting, especially for people who are watching me and investing in the Philippine markets, regardless if you're investing in mutual funds, UITFs, or even in the stock market in general. As you've seen also over the past few years, the peak of the Philippine stock market was about 2018. We're now at 2022, closing in at the end of the year already, and we're about to go and transition into the new year, 2023. So roughly from the start of 2018 to where we are now in 2022 and maybe transitioning into 2023, it's been about 5 years since the peak of the Philippine markets. And I've been getting a lot of questions from all of you from the different platforms that I have as well, that what if this bear market runs deep? What if it takes a very, very long time before we actually start to see it go up? What should you actually do and what should be your battle plan? What are my insights on it? So this is something also that you could apply in other asset classes that you are investing in, because as what I've been saying over and over, principles, strategies, they can be overlays, they can be used in different asset classes because there are some principles that are universal, especially in the world of investing. First things first, I want to start off with this. If you're a long-term investor and the market is low, the market is not at its highest, stocks that you want to buy are not expensive, then it doesn't really matter. This allows you already to be able to put in and start to just keep on buying while they're cheap. And I know that at this point also, it's not the most exciting time because no one wants to invest for years without actually seeing it go up. We all want that whatever we put our hard-earned money into, we actually see it start to push up. We actually see it start to go up. We actually benefit from it. And a lot of people become impatient when they start investing and it really doesn't go anywhere. But that's where you have to actually look at it from where your target is. Because if your target is long, then low points should be an opportunity for you to be able to build a base, especially if you have a business, especially if you are employed and you have cash flow coming your way. The best investors are the ones that know how to forget about their investments because they tend to be less emotional. But it doesn't mean that you don't study. It doesn't mean that it's an excuse also for you to become not knowledgeable in where you put your asset class into. But when you know that you're putting your money into something that's sound, into something that you know has great long-term prospects, it not really doing well for a few months, for a couple of years, but it having the ability to explode later on in the future because history, statistics, and fundamentals beckon it, then it should be okay. You should look at this period for you as an opportunity to build as much as you can so that when times are better, you could also benefit as much from the larger upside if you have a very, very large base. And I've said this in a lot of videos. The name of the game is not just capital appreciation. The name of the game is building volume. The name of the game is having the ability to be able to build this stockpile of assets that you bought low. Money is not made when the markets are high. Money is not made in the bull markets. Money is not made when everyone is excited about it. Money is made when things are bare, when people are scared. Money is made when you get things cheap. If you're a long-term investor, it doesn't matter. As long as you don't need the money yet, cycles like this give you the opportunity to be able to buy things at a very, very cheap price. If you're the type of person that's very, very sensitive on the return that you get, you can just get dividend stocks, get your yield, get your return. But number 3 is this: you can be diversified. If you've noticed it in this channel, we've talked about Forex, we've talked about crypto, we've talked about real estate, we've talked about other opportunities on how you could actually maximize your capital, because not all of them go up at the same time, not all of them also go down at the same time. Some are more volatile than others, but some are less volatile than others. Some give you a certain rate of return, while it doesn't really give you a lot of capital appreciation. At least they give you something. Some don't actually give you cash flow, but when times are better, they're the ones that explode. They're the ones that actually go up. So if the asset class that you're putting your money into isn't delivering the results that you want, because you're looking for something on a more short-term or medium-term level, you're looking at it from a perspective that you want to get this amount of return on a yearly basis, then it would be highly prudent also for you to diversify, to allot a certain amount of money so that you get to protect your base, so that you get a churn on the capital that you actually have. You've seen it eh. At the height of the COVID, the Philippine markets didn't really hit all-time highs, but you've seen the US market and the crypto market hit all-time highs. And what's interesting about that is if you put it head-to-head, Philippine stock market, same asset class, US stock market, same asset class, but different region, different composition of companies that are based there, then that gives you the ability to be able to see that there are facets of it that aren't really the same. Those could be opportunities for you. I'm not saying that US markets would outperform Philippine markets also today, but you could see it very well eh. When we locked down, the US dollar versus the Philippine peso was very low. For those who diversified, saying that, okay, I'm not just going to put it in stocks, or I'm not just going to put it in real estate, I'm going to buy the dollar because I know it's below 50, it's 47, it's 48. The dollar, as compared to other currencies around the world, is something that's considered safe. It's considered a safe haven. It's one of the safest and most stable currencies out there. Buying the dollar against the peso, when you had historical evidence that at a certain point it was already cheap, was a very, very good opportunity for those who saw that. And fast forward to where we are right now, the stock market hasn't hit all-time highs yet. The crypto market is in a bit of a slump. The US market has been hit also by massive printing, but the US dollar has been performing well. So that's what I'm saying. Diversification in terms of you looking at from a perspective of you can still get a return when you try to find opportunities. You can still get a return when capital markets, the stock market, the crypto market is in this season where there's not really a lot of excitement. And if you look at it from a perspective of, oh, I should have actually diversified also buying currencies, buying dollars, stashing it, and then when it's up, it would have presented a very, very good return. So think about it. For those who bought at 48, they're outperforming some of the bonds. They're outperforming some of the mutual funds. So those who saw that opportunity, that they saw that this particular asset class, namely the dollar versus the peso, was cheap, are the ones that are also doing well today. And that's what I want to submit to you, that even right now, when the stock market isn't really pushing high, not hitting all-time highs, you could find also opportunities in other asset classes. So I just want to end this video in two things. Number one, if you want to be fully into your asset class that you know so well, but it's not really doing as good in terms of yield or at least in growth for today, you look at it from a long-term perspective and you use this time to be able to position, to stack, build a base, and create life-changing volume. You're the one sensitive in earning a return for the short term and the mid-term, then you must diversify into other asset classes that are different from the common assets that you actually have. So the ones that are not doing so well, you try to diversify off of it and you go into an asset class that did well. So what I've mentioned, the dollar against the peso. But if you also look at it also, even oil this year did very, very well, which at the point when we were locking down in 2020, oil was really, really bad. But in 2022, oil is really, really good. So that's how you can segment it. It doesn't mean that the economy is not so good, that all sectors, all industries are hit, because in everything, there will always be winners and there will always be losers, and great investors find opportunities in the midst of crisis. That's why you need to spend a lot of time to study. That's why you need to spend a lot of time to learn. And I'll say this over and over. It's your dream eh. The reason why you're watching this channel is you like to invest. The reason why you're watching this channel is you want to make your money work hard for you. It doesn't come easy. It requires you taking the time also to do your work, do your own research, having conviction, so that when times are shaky, you know what you're doing. If you want to learn more about that, hundreds of videos down below, thousands of videos down below, courses, books also that I created. And if you stayed up until the end, like, share, subscribe, and smash the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing. That's it for now. Marvingermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.